Hello, Internet. I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake, and I like hip-hop and rap.
Oh, you're nailing it. And this is Unpopular Culture. Today we're going to be looking at the Black Panther trailer. We're going to be talking about it. God, this movie looks weird, and I'm into it.
It looks like human aliens on Earth that aren't technically aliens. Does that make sense? It's so otherworldly. It's almost Atlantean in its alienness, but it's
like Afrofuturism. It's for those of you who don't know the backstory of Black Panther from the comics. He lives in a tiny fictional country called Wakanda, which is in Africa. The nation secretly, to the outside world, it looks like just a poor African nation, but secretly it's a highly technologically advanced group of people who decide to hoard that knowledge for themselves because, for whatever reason, they might think it's more dangerous to unleash or whatever. And they also have a ton of vibranium, which is what Captain America's shield is made out of and what Black Panther's outfit is made out of.
Yeah, and it was the thing that in Age of Ultron he was looking for the drills to...
Yes,
yeah, so.
Which actually ties in because in Age of Ultron, where he finally found all of the vibranium...
Was in Wakanda with Andy Serkis's character getting it from there.
In Wakanda.
Wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was in, I think, South Africa or something. Or it was some other
Well, he's
country.
South African, but I don't...
Anyway, they found it with him, and his character... I forget what his name
Andy
is.
Serkis's character.
Andy Serkis's character.
Andy Serkis, by the way.
Yeah, he got his arm cut off by Ultron. Claw, I want to say his name. Is his name Claw? It's something
probably
stupid like
Claw now. Well.
And he's gonna be the villain. Him and the guy from Creed,
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, who
had to add the B because of Space Jam.
Is that why?
It's gotta be.
Because if, for those of you who don't know how SAG works, you can't have the same name as someone else in SAG. It has to be, you have to distinguish somehow. For instance, there was already an Al Gore. So when Al Gore went on Futurama, he's done it several times, he had to be credited as Vice President Al Gore, and it's on his SAG card because you can't just be Al Gore. Because there already was one. Alan
Gore.
So, Space Jam really, really fucked over Michael B. Jordan. Anyway, good for him, though. He went from Fan 4 stick to this, so good for him.
Fan 4. Wow. Fan 4 stick?
Yeah.
Anyways, he looks really good in this, though. His character is interesting.
I don't understand what his character is at all.
Okay, so he's like anti... I don't know what his goals are. I'm just saying, like, from visually, he's got like instead of a Black Panther thing, he's got like a black... Okay, first of all, for people in the comments about to talk about panthers and what they are, just a black jungle cat doesn't actually exist as species. So I already knew that. Shut up. But he's got like jaguar, orangey looking stuff on his Black Panther suit. So they're going to be Black Panther fights, which is kind of cool because otherwise our Black Panther, I guess, is overpowered.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of has a Luke Cage baddie feel to it, but Michael B. Jordan is such a good actor that I think it's fine.
I think it'll probably be fine, but again, these Marvel movies and their villains, they keep making the same mistakes in that they're making the villain just an evil mirror of... And that's not interesting. Not that you can't do interesting things with that. I'm a dark mirror image. It's just... If that's the conflict you have every single time...
Yeah, well, I think visually he's interesting. I don't know anything about his actual motivation. Again, they have, like, those... I have a dog hair on me. They have those indented, like, subdermal, like, bumps all over his body. So it looks really interesting. Mm-hmm. He also is apparently some sort of prisoner at one point, and then Andy Serkis's character is helping him or something. And the style of this movie is, like... way higher than even like Guardians to me.
It's so interesting because it looks like they took sort of that colorful, comic booky, it's going to be colorful and crazy and fun out in space ideology and brought it down to Wakanda and said this is its own kind of isolated, interesting alien world on Earth. So that's what it's going to be.
So alien, I think, because of the precedent they set with the Guardians movies and what we saw from Thor Ragnarok's trailer.
I am all for this.
Yeah,
as the Marvel movies have gone, the color palettes have gotten way better because I think
orange-blue used to be the thing.
I think in Civil War, you actually could see a problem that they were having, and that was in the airport fight. I think someone did a really good video essay on this. I'm sure someone can look it up.
Every frame of painting, maybe?
Maybe. But they were talking about how the airport fight, it's very gray and white because it's all tarmac and cement.
Think of it,
and the cool things are like the character quips and interactions, but you don't remember a lot of the stuff that happened specifically because it's like
gray
and just samey and so with the more striking visuals, I think Marvel is making a good decision there. It looks very Blade Runner mixed with with Africa. The technology looks cool. What's the name of the guy who's playing Black Panther? Do you know his name?
Patrick Boseman, I believe. I
liked him in Civil War. I like that he had his own little mini arc there.
Is it Patrick? Chadwick.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm excited to see what he does here because I don't know that much about the character.
Yeah, I don't either. His dad got assassinated in that movie. He's rich. You don't remember his dad getting assassinated?
No, I remember that.
He just looked at me like it. And then he's got like political differences with some stuff, but I don't really know where he lies on any facet.
I am actually finding myself interested in the internal politics of this isolationist, futuristic nation and what the inner conflicts are going to be.
Also, Martin Freeman, American male. Love it. I have never seen such things in my life. He's very American.
He's very American. I've seen gods fly.
I have seen
weapons I could never imagine.
We're making fun of Martin Freeman. He's a fine actor.
No,
he's just so not himself with that voice. It's weird. It almost is kind of like when he does Doctor Strange voice. Cumberbatch?
I think
although Cumberbatch does a better job.
Cumberbatch does a better job.
To be fair, he has more lines.
That's true.
Man. How are they always in the same fucking movies and shows? They were in Sherlock. They were in Desolation of Smaug together with The Hobbit and the third one, which I forget the name. And then they're in these movies.
Yeah. They're just best bros.
They must be best bros.
So what else is going on in the trailers?
Just so much.
Looks like
so much happening.
Looks like they're going to develop some sort of technology that's going to let his suit sort of
pop
appear
out
around
him.
I
mean, Iron Man and Spider-Man both kind of have that at points, so I think it's fine. It kind of
they haven't done it in the movie yet.
Iron Man did. He had the glove, and it goes, and it was a shitty one that blew up real quick. It didn't do it like that. It doesn't teleport onto him.
He had a suitcase one. Are you talking about that one in
no,
Iron Man 2?
No, he had a thing on his wrist, and I can't remember. It was a shitty one. It was
in Civil War. It was just a hand.
Maybe it was just that.
It was his watch,
I don't know.
And he could go beep beep, and then it basically spread a metal Iron Man glove, and that's all.
And then the Spider-Man one eventually comes out of the watch or something in the comics and the TV shows.
The Flash does that. Do you think of the Flash?
The Flash has a ring, right?
Yeah, it's like a ring, boop, and it comes out. And
no, Spider-Man has a thing at some point, but
I know
this is different because it like materializes onto him.
I know Iron Man eventually, and I think this is going to come out in Infinity War.
Yeah.
I think what he's going to do is get the Extremis armor or the Bleeding Edge armor. I forget what it's called.
What's that do?
Basically, it's so he has Iron Man on him all the time. It's in him.
Oh.
It's like it's made of lots of like billions and billions of microbots and stuff.
And it comes through his skin.
And then it comes through his skin.
Oh.
So bleeding edge. And it forms, the armor.
I wonder if they're gonna do that. That kind of seems extra.
Yeah.
Seems like Iron Man 2049 sort of.
A little bit, but I could see him doing it. People want
it. With
it.
the Wakandan technology, it might be cool.
And he's going to meet the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they have future technology, so...
Oh, imagine him and Rocket hanging out.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
There's actually a really fun, because Iron Man joined the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics for a while, and Tony Stark was talking to Rocket, and he was out of his depth, actually, for once, because Rocket has future technology. And then Tony's like, oh man, I really wish I could get in contact with whoever back on Earth.
Sure.
Yeah, too bad you guys don't have a phone or whatever. And Rocket's like, I don't know what a phone is, but here. And he does like a thing. And it just say who you want to talk to. And he hands it to him, and it's like, it just does. And Tony's like, how does this work? And Rocket's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You don't have those? So, it's interesting.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
That's a good way to establish, like, what Tony could possibly accomplish. Because, I mean, he got hold of the Tesseract and everything changed in the Marvel Universe. Imagine him having all this other technology all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also interested just the fighting. The only scene I don't like was the cool scene in the first trailer, which is he jumps around and does like an aerial in the air and then lands on the car. Now that looks terrible compared to the other stuff they shot.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Huh. But I'm really interested in the fighting because this is going to be different than like any other, and we got a little bit of it in Winter Soldier. But
I like it because it's sort of Captain America, but less.
Is Captain America mixed with Spider-Man mixed with Wolverine?
A little bit, yeah. That's a good way to put it. I'd say it's Captain America, but less restrained because Captain America's, he's in the army. He has military training, so he's. Black Panther, meanwhile, seems like part of it's, because it's part of the powers, are mystical. It's part of it's mystical and actually being in touch with your, like, spirit animal. You saw a little bit of that in the trailer. Yeah. It looks like he goes on some sort of vision quest or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah,
but...
that, again, looked very cool. The color palette
it was
nice.
purple.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
It's a little more visceral, the fighting. A little more, bam, bam, wild animal-esque,
Yeah.
But... overall, looks like another fun Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm gonna see it. Comes out in February. Anything else?
Yeah. I mean, not really. I just want to see it now.
Me too.
This is weirdly, the end of the year is going to be a good time for movies. Like the end of this year, the beginning of next year.
Yeah, and Thor's coming out soon too.
Yeah, that's November?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, so excited. We're going to go to that for sure.
Yes.
We'll go on a double date.
Okay,
just a regular date.
That's not the direct. Okay. Anyway, until next time, I'm Hugo.
He's buying.
He's in popular culture.
He's gonna try to take advantage of me. It won't work.